cases in the open civils, remaining part of the thing. I request our active and never-smiling chairman Narayana Reddy, Vijayawada branch, to come and deliver this message.
Narayana Manohar garu and guest of honor CA Mupal Subbarao garu, Vice Chairman SIRC, CA Yada Triptai garu, Regional Council member and other dignitaries under the dais and after the dais, and past chairmans of the branch, senior members, young members, and my dear future chartered accountants. Very good morning to all of you. ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎంత చక్కగా డిజైన్ చేశారని మన సెకండ్ సర్వీస్ కానీ మా మేనేజ్మెంట్ కమిటీ కానీ ఈ ప్రోగ్రాంలో సబ్జెక్ట్ ఓరియంటెడ్, సివిల్ ఓరియంటెడ్, స్కిల్ అప్ ఓరియంటెడ్, అలాగే మీకు కావాల్సిన కల్చరల్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్, మోటివేషన్ అన్నీ కవర్ అయ్యే విధంగా చాలా చక్కగా ప్లాన్ చేశారు. కాబట్టి నా మనవి ఏంటంటే మీరు ఈ 2 రోజులు చాలా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్గా ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ని యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకొని మీరు బయటలో మన ఇంటి పరిస్థితి వస్తుంది పాస్ అవ్వాలనే రేంజ్లో మోటివేట్ అవుతారని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నాను. అలాగే మీరు కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ చేసి చక్కగా వినండి. మన సీఏ కోర్స్ గొప్పతనం గురించి చెప్పాలంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏ కోర్స్ అయినా సరే మనం పాస్ అయ్యి బయట అయిన తర్వాత జాబ్ రావచ్చు, రాకపోవచ్చు. కానీ మన సీఏ అలా కాదు. కొంచెం మనం క్వాలిఫై అయ్యామంటే జాబ్ లెస్ సీఏ యాదాపు ఎవరు లేరు, ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్లో కూడా అలా ఉండదు. అది మన సీఏ గొప్పతనం. కాబట్టి సీఏ పాస్ అవ్వడం చాలా కష్టం. బయట చాలా మంది మీరేదో చెప్పారు సీఏ చాలా కష్టమని చెప్తుంటారు, కానీ సీఏ అంత కష్టమైతే కాదండి. ఎందుకంటే నేనున్నాను గవర్నమెంట్ కాలేజీలో అప్పుడు డిగ్రీ వరకు చదువుకొని వచ్చి కూడా 1 లెవెల్స్లో నేను సీఏ క్లియర్ చేసేసాను. అప్పుడు ఉన్న ఫెసిలిటీస్. కానీ ఈరోజు మీకున్న ఫెసిలిటీస్ మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ సీఏ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేసే ఫెసిలిటీస్ కానివ్వండి, మీ కోచింగ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేసే ఫెసిలిటీస్ కానీ వీటన్నిటిని చాలా చక్కగా మీరు యూటిలైజ్ చేసేస్తే సీఏ పాస్ అవ్వడం లేదా కష్టమైతే కాదు. కాబట్టి మీరు చక్కగా ప్లాన్ చేసుకొని డైవర్ట్ అవ్వకుండా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ చేసి చక్కగా ప్లాన్ చేసేస్తే సీఏ పాస్ అవ్వడం అనేది చాలా ఈజీ. వన్స్ మీరు సీఏ పాస్ అయ్యారంటే లైఫ్లో తిరిగి చూసుకోవాల్సిన పని అయితే ఉండదు. కాబట్టి నేను మీ అందరినీ కోరుకుంటే ఏంటంటే చక్కగా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్గా ప్లాన్ చేసి చదువుకొని మీ తల్లిదండ్రుల యొక్క డ్రీమ్స్ కూడా నెరవేర్చాలని నా మనవి. అలాగే సీఏ మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ కూడా ఇది 2 ఎకర్స్ ఉంటుంది, ఇప్పుడు 3 ఎకర్స్ ఉంది అందరికీ తెలుసు కదా. ఇది కూడా చాలా మంచి పరిణామం. ఎందుకంటే ఇద్దరు 1 ఎకరం రాసేసి మన రిజల్ట్స్ కోసం వెయిట్ చేస్తూ ఉండేవారు. బాగా రాసిన రాకపోతే రిజల్ట్స్ వచ్చిందా చూసుకుందామని చెప్పి వెయిట్ చేసేవారు. మళ్ళీ రిజల్ట్ రాగానే వేయడానికి మళ్ళీ అప్పుడు ప్రెస్గా స్టార్ట్ చేసేవారు. ఇది మన ప్రిపరేషన్ అప్పుడు సరిపోయేది కదా. ఇప్పుడు ఎలా ఉంటుంది 3 ఎకర్స్ చెప్పింది రాసి వచ్చిందంటే మీకు ఒక ఐడియా వస్తుంది, మనం పాస్ అవుతామా లేదా అని. కదా టైం ఉన్నదని చెప్పేసి మీరు వెంటనే ప్రిపరేషన్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. చాలా మందికి టైం ఉండదు. సో మీకు ఆ కంటిన్యూటీ అనేది ఎక్కడికి పోకుండా సబ్జెక్ట్ కూడా డివేట్ అవ్వకుండా ఈజీగా పాస్ అవ్వడానికి చాలా మంచి అవకాశం 3 ఎకర్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్. ఎన్ని ఆలోచించే మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఇది ప్లాన్ చేయడం జరిగింది. సో విష్ యూ ఆల్ ద వెరీ బెస్ట్ ఫర్ యువర్ ఫ్యూచర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir. Now I request CA Anandapati garu, Regional Council member, SIRC of ICAI, to do the doubts of the country, kindly handle the same. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. Sir, speaker here, sir. But leader and Chairman Narayana, Vice Chairman of SIRC, Sri Subbarao, other management committee, Secretary Manish, Pawan President, Vice Chairman, President Jayanti garu, the other members of the Vijayawada branch, Ajay, Renu, Secretary Chairman, Vidila, Vice Chairman, Vaidita Galada, and other committee members of the Vijayawada branch, and the speaker Saran, senior members of Nayagar, particularly students, మీ అందరిని చూడగానే నాకు ఏజ్లో మీ దగ్గర నుంచి నాకు ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ వచ్చింది. బికాస్ a lot of enthusiasm, particularly on all experts know, almost 20, less than 25 years old, they are all. మన చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ నారా మనోహర్ గారు చాలా వివరాలు చెప్పారు మనకి రియల్గా. పర్టికులర్గా ఆయన మాట్లాడిన దాంట్లో మనం సిన్సియర్గా ఇంటే చాలా మనకు ఉపయోగపడతారు లైఫ్లో. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు నారాయణ గారు చెప్పారు సీఏ ఒకసారి చేరిన తర్వాత మీరు పాస్ అయితే మీరు ఫ్యూచర్లో ఎటువంటి డోకా లేదు అన్నాడు. దాన్ని నేను ఖచ్చితంగా ఏకీపిస్తాను. కానీ మనకున్న ఈ టైం పీరియడ్లో లైఫ్ అనేది ఒక సపోజ్ ఒక వెహికల్ కావాలంటే 100 కిలోమీటర్ స్పీడ్తో మనకేమైనా బ్రహ్మాండం వెళ్తున్నాం అనుకుంటే కాదు. జస్ట్ ఫ్రాక్షన్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్స్ లైఫ్ చూసినా కానీ రాంగ్ స్టెప్ వేసినా కానీ ఎంటర్ లైఫ్ టోటల్గా ఫెయిల్యూర్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. అట్లాగే ఏ ప్రొఫెషన్తో పోల్చినా మన సీఏ తక్కువ కాకపోయినప్పటికీ మనం అనుకున్నంత పబ్లిక్లో ఇప్పుడు చాలామంది ప్రాక్టీస్లో ఉన్నారు, తర్వాత ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్లో ఉన్నారు. అందరికీ కూడా 100% మన వాళ్ళు పెద్ద గొప్పగా ఎంజాయ్ చేస్తున్నాం, లేకపోతే పూర్తిగా 100% లైఫ్లో సెటిల్ అయ్యాలంటే కరెక్ట్ కాదు. మనం ఇప్పటి నుంచి మీరు ఎందుకంటే మనం డిఫరెంట్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్స్ నుంచి మనం కోర్సులు చేయాలి. ఈ పేరెంట్స్ అగ్రికల్చర్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, లేకపోతే మిగతా డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ నుంచి వచ్చుంటారు. వాటి ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్ మనకి చాలా ఉంటుంది. అవన్నీ దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకోవాలి. మనం ఈ కోర్స్ చేస్తాం. ఇది మిగతా ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజీలో మెడిసిన్ లాగా మనకు కాలేజీ అక్కడికి వెళ్ళడం క్లాసులు ఇటువంటివి లేవు. ఫార్చునేట్ ఏంటంటే చాలా తక్కువతోటి కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయిన కోర్సు మన సీఏ కోర్సు. మీరు ఏ ఆర్ట్ దగ్గర చేరినా ఇప్పుడున్న స్కేల్స్ ప్రకారం మంచి స్టైఫండ్ ఇస్తున్నారు, బాగా మంచి వర్క్ నేర్పుతున్నారు. ఓన్లీ ఏంటంటే మీరు కంపేర్ చేసుకోకూడదు. ఈ ఆర్ట్కి మంచి మంచి ఫైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి, లేకపోతే ఎక్కువ స్టైఫండ్ ఇస్తున్నారు ఇట్లా కాదు. ఏ ఆర్ట్ దగ్గర చేరినా మీరు కంటిన్యూటీ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇప్పుడు ఇదివరకు మాకు ఆర్టికల్షిప్ కావాలంటే మేము కనీసం ఒక 5-6 నెలలు వెయిట్ చేసి ఆ ఖాళీ వచ్చినప్పుడు చేరేవాడు. ఇప్పుడు పరిస్థితులు డిఫరెంట్గా ఉన్నాయి. స్టూడెంట్స్గా మీరు వచ్చి మమ్మల్ని క్వశ్చన్ చేస్తున్నారు, సార్ మీకు ఏం ఆడిట్ ఉన్నాయి, లేకపోతే మీ ఆఫీస్ ఎట్లా ఉంది, మీరు స్టైఫండ్ అందిస్తారు, లీవ్ అందిస్తారు, ఇట్లా రకరకాలు అడుగుతున్నారు. అవన్నీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ కారణం. కానీ మీరు ఎవరినైతే డిసైడ్ చేసుకుంటారో వాళ్ళని మీరు గురువుగా భావించి వాళ్ళ దగ్గర మీరు ఏ వర్క్ అయినా కానీ పూర్తిగా మీరు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ తోటి మీరు వాళ్ళతో కలిసి ఈ 2 ఏళ్ళ ఆర్టికల్షిప్ అనేది మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేసి తర్వాత ఫ్యూచర్ సెటిల్ కావాలని నా ఇది మీకు. తర్వాత అలాగే ఈ టెక్నాలజీ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. చాలా చెప్పాడు ఏఐ తోటి కానీ మిగతా డిఫరెంట్ టెక్నాలజీస్ తోటి మన వర్క్ పోతుందా, లేకపోతే ఆపర్చునిటీస్ దొరుకుతాయి అనేది కొంత ఛాలెంజెస్ ఎప్పుడు ఉంటాయి లైఫ్లో. బట్ వాటితో మనం కూడా ఖచ్చితంగా స్టడీ చేసి ముందుకెళ్తే అది ఉపయోగపడుతుంది, కానీ ఎటువంటి ఇబ్బంది రాదు. ఎందుకంటే 80s కంప్యూటర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు అసలు అకౌంట్ జాబ్స్ కొత్త అకౌంట్ రైటింగ్ ఉండదు, సీఏ అనే ఉద్దేశంతో అందరూ అనుకున్నారు. కానీ అది వచ్చినంత మాత్రం అన్ని ఫీల్డ్లో కూడా కంప్యూటర్ వచ్చేసింది. అలాగే ఇప్పుడు ఏఐ కానీ ఫ్యూచర్ టెక్నాలజీ ఏది వచ్చినా కానీ మనకు ఉన్నటువంటి ఇబ్బంది రాదు. ఓన్లీ థింగ్ ఏంటంటే మనం ప్రాపర్గా మనం దాన్ని ఫాలో కావాలి. సెకండ్, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఈజీగా పెట్టడానికి ఇదవుతున్నాం. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు లాంటి యూట్యూబ్లో కానీ మిగతా కానీ కొన్ని యాప్స్ చూస్తే మనం ఈజీగా అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాం పిల్లలు. మెజారిటీ ఐ థింక్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 2-3 అవర్స్ ఈ ఫోన్లో అవి చూసి టైం వేస్ట్ చేసుకుని చాలామంది ఉన్నాం. మాకు కూడా టైం దొరికినప్పుడు ఏదో ఒకటి చూస్తున్నాం. బట్ అది ఎంతో ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. మన లైఫ్కి ఏదైనా ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుందా, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మీరు జడ్జ్ చేసుకొని అది ఎంతవరకు వెళ్ళాలని చూడండి. అట్లాగే సీఏ పిల్లలు జనరల్గా హెల్త్ ఇష్యూస్లో మొదటి ఫిజికల్ ఫిట్నెస్, మెంటల్ ఫిట్నెస్ ముందు అవసరం. మనం రీసెంట్గా చూసాం 25 to 30 క్వాలిఫైడ్ సీఎస్ కూడా హార్ట్ అటాక్ వచ్చేసి చనిపోవడం ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ జరుగుతుంది. మనకి ఎంత అయినా కానీ ఫ్యూచర్ హెల్త్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. వాటిని కూడా మీరు దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకోండి. అట్లాగే ఎథికల్ స్టాండర్డ్స్ గురించి మినిస్టర్ గారు చెప్తారు. ఎథిక్స్ అనేది లేకపోతే మనం ఎక్కడైనా పోతాం మనకు తెలియదు. ఎథికల్ అంటే మీకు తెలుసు, ఏదన్నా ఒక చిన్న దీనికి రాంగ్ స్టెప్ వేసామంటే ఎక్కడికో తీసుకెళ్తారు. అందుకని అది స్టాండర్డ్స్ మెయింటైన్ చేస్తూ మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ మంచి వాల్యూ ఉంది. సీఏ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ అంటే హై స్టాండర్డ్స్, హై వాల్యూ ఉంది. దాని అందరికీ కూడా మనం సపోర్ట్ చేస్తూ ఫ్యూచర్లో మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ విలువ ఎక్కడ తగ్గకుండా చూడాలి. మన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ సార్ చెప్పినట్టు మినిస్టర్ గారు చెప్పినట్టు అసోసియేషన్ కాదు, రెగ్యులేటరీ బాడీ, మనందరూ బాధ్యత ఉండాలి. అలాగే సొసైటీకి మనం ఎంతో కొంత మనకున్న దాంట్లో మన టైం ఇచ్చి సొసైటీకి ఏ విధంగా మనం ఉపయోగపడుతుంది కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్. బీయింగ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ కానీ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇష్యూస్ వేరెవర్ పాసిబిలిటీస్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సైడ్ కానీ హెల్త్ సైడ్ హెల్త్ మీరు డాక్టర్స్ కావాలి కానీ మనకు సంబంధించిన ఎవరైనా ఉంటే పూర్ పీపుల్ వాటర్ హెల్ప్ చేయడం కానీ ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ చేయండి. చేస్తే మీరు చక్కగా చదువుకుంటూ ముందుకెళ్ళాలని నా మనవి. రెండోది ఈ ఫ్యూచర్లో ఉన్న స్కోప్లో సింగిల్గా ఏమీ చేయలేదు. ఖచ్చితంగా కనెక్టివ్గా మనం మంచి ఫ్రెండ్స్తో కలిసి ముందుకెళ్ళాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. అది ఇప్పటి నుంచి మీరు గుడ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైతే మనకు లైఫ్ మైండెడ్ పీపుల్ ఫ్యూచర్లో ప్రాక్టీస్లో కానీ లైఫ్లో కానీ మనం ముందుకెళ్ళాలనుకుంటాం వాళ్ళని ఇప్పటి నుంచే డిసైడ్ చేసుకొని కంటిన్యూ చేయండి. ఒక ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ కంటిన్యూ చేయడం అంత ఈజీ కాదు. మంచి ఫ్రెండ్స్ని ఎన్నుకోవడం ఒక పద్ధతి, వాళ్ళని కంటిన్యూ చేయడం అనేది కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఐ థింక్ మీరు అందరూ దానికి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారనుకుంటున్నాను. అది ఈజ్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అని. సో ఇట్లా తర్వాత సక్సెస్ అనేది సక్సెస్ ఈజ్ నో యాక్సిడెంట్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ హార్డ్ వర్క్, లెర్నింగ్ అండ్ సాక్రిఫైస్ అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ స్టడీ కంటిన్యూ స్టడీ చేస్తే కానీ ఈ సక్సెస్ అనేది రాదు. అట్లాగే మీరు ఎల్డర్స్కి పర్టికులర్లీ మీ పేరెంట్స్కి కానీ మీ గ్రాండ్ పేరెంట్స్కి కానీ కొంత టైం ఇవ్వండి. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మా టైం ఇప్పుడు ఎలాగో ఓల్డేజ్ హోమ్స్ ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ లేవు. ఇప్పుడు రీసెంట్గా రేపు మేము కూడా ఉండాల్సి వస్తుందో మాకు తెలియదు. మీ వీలైనంత వరకు మీ గ్రాండ్ పేరెంట్స్ తోటి వాళ్ళతో కొంత టైం స్పెండ్ చేసి ఎందుకంటే లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్పుట్స్ అదే ఉంటాయి. వాళ్ళు మీ జీవితంలో నేర్చుకున్నటువంటి ఇన్పుట్స్ మీకు లైఫ్లో చాలా ఉపయోగపడతాయి. ఎక్కడైతే టైం దొరుకుతుందో వాళ్ళకి టైం స్పెండ్ చేయండి. అట్లాగే కంటిన్యూస్గా మీరు డెడికేటెడ్గా ఈ ఉన్న టీవీస్ కానీ తర్వాత మీ లైఫ్లో వీలైనంత వరకు ఏదైనా మిస్టేక్ చేయొచ్చు. మిస్టేక్ నుంచి మనం లెసన్స్ నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే పొరపాటు చేసిందని మళ్ళీ కంటిన్యూ చేస్తే లైఫ్లో ఎప్పుడు బయట రాదు. అటువంటి మిస్టేక్స్ ఏమైనా జరిగితే అలా రెక్టిఫై చేసుకొని జాగ్రత్తగా ముందుకెళ్ళండి. సో మా సైడ్ నుంచి ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ సైడ్ నుంచి ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్ చాలా పెడుతున్నారు. ఇక్కడ బాగా ఆర్గనైజ్ చేశారు విజయవాడ బ్రాంచ్, అట్లనే సికాస వాడి తర్వాత బ్రాంచ్. ఐ కంగ్రాట్స్ నాకు పర్టికులర్గా నాకు నారాయణ గారు ఫోన్ చేశారు తెలియదు రెడ్డి సార్ అని. ఐ టేక్ దిస్ ఆపర్చునిటీ. ఐ ఆల్సో థ్యాంక్ ఆల్ ది కమిటీ మెంబర్స్ గివింగ్ దిస్ ఆపర్చునిటీ. సో వన్స్ అగైన్ ఐ విష్ యూ ఆల్ సక్సెస్ ఫర్ యువర్ ఫ్యూచర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్ ఫర్
Thank you, sir. Most honorable CA Uppada Subbarao Vice Chairman SCRC to deliver his valuable message.
In the absence, just now we left the venue, and branch chairman C. Narayana, Sikasa Vice Chairman Galata, and Sihansa Chairperson C. Vinita, and branch secretary and other managing committee members of Vijayawada branch, and managing committee members of Vijayawada Sikasa. A very good morning to all of you. I am very much thankful to be part of this today's National Conference for CA students, JNE, organized by Board of Studies, hosted by our ICAI Vijayawada branch and Sikasa of Vijayawada branch. I would like to appreciate the Vijayawada branch for hosting the National Conference continuously. This is the fourth time for continuously they are organizing National Conference. You can give a big hand, big clap to them for appreciate them. The topics selected for are innovative and useful for the students. I appreciate the organizers for selecting the technology-driven topics along with the regular GST and income tax topics. Students, there is no shortcut for the success. Hard work is the only way for success. CA students లో గర్ల్స్ పర్సెంటేజ్ ఎంత ఉందో ఏమన్నా ఐడియా ఉందా ఎవరికన్నా? The percentage of girl students are 43% of the students are girl students now. Any 2000 లో 8% were girl students. ఇక్కడ మనం కాన్ఫరెన్స్ చూస్తూ ఉంటే నేను I was 2012లో నేను సికాసా చైర్మన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ముందు 2-3 రోజుల్లో మనం గర్ల్స్ ఉండేవాడు. ఇవాళ 50% ఆఫ్ ద హాల్ గర్ల్స్తో ఉన్నారు. సో బయట ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ఎలా ఉన్నా లేకపోతే CA కోర్సులో ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ చాలా బాగా ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే మన సికాసా చైర్మన్ కూడా ఉమెనే, సికాసా వైస్ చైర్మన్ కూడా ఉంది. ఫైనల్గా నేను ఒక మాట చెప్పి ముగిస్తాను. Dedication is more important than resignation. Insult is more important than seniority. Values are more important than values. Mindset is more important than marks. Loyalty is more important than loyalty. Efforts are more important than results. Proper work is more important than paperwork. And my best wishes to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for Regional Council members and Chairman SCRC, Vice Chairman SCRC. I request all the management committee members to please be on the dais. Now it's time to deliver the vote of thanks for the inaugural session by our branch secretary, Manish.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, respected chief guest, esteemed dignitaries of the ICAI, I am privileged and honored to deliver the vote of thanks of this memorable occasion of National Conference of 1Topic. First and foremost, I would like to express our deep gratitude to our chief guest, Manohar Garu, Minister for Civil Supplies, Food Safety and Consumer Affairs, for blessing and accepting our has truly evident significance of this conference. I extend heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, our guest of honor, CM Upala Subbaravu Garu, RCM Durupati Garu, for your valuable presence and for sharing your inspirational perspective with us. Your contribution today will contribute today throughout the sessions to follow. To all our distinguished speakers, panelists, and invited experts, thank you for joining us and for committing time and knowledge for this academic exchange. I would like to express sincere appreciation to all our delegates, participants who have joined us for various parts of the country. For enthusiasm and active participation are truly make this conference vibrant and meaningful. Last but certainly not least, I thank each and every one of you present here today in person for being part of this important academic celebration. Your presence make the value of shared learning and collaborative thinking. Let us now carry forward the spirit of this inaugural function into the session ahead. I wish you all a fruitful and enriching conference. Thank you once again. Thank you all. Manchiga sessions, knowledge sharing, మీ network build అవుతుంది. అంతా you will have a great knowledge of this 2 days sessions. So enjoy your sessions every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. Now the first technical session.
Furtherly, I would like to call upon Ms. Vandana from Vijayawada, an article student from Ms. Vijayan to the dais. And I would like to request Ms. Tanvi to present the book bouquet to Ms. Vandana. I would like to call upon Mr. Tarun Krishnan from thank you. An article student from Goldman Sachs, thank you. And I would like to request Mr. Yogesh to present a book bouquet to Mr. Talkesh Krishna. Over to Mr. Narayana.
We invite U.Saran Kumar U.Saran Kumar. Today I am honored to speak about U.Saran Kumar professional and significant contribution in his field, journey, dedication, hard work. Our qualified secretary in the year 2010 completed diploma in information systems from ICAI. It's a certificate holder in forensic accounting and fraud detection course, concurrent audit. He is ranked more than 20 years. He is member in consultant services in the field of automation, data analytics, forensic audit, process documentation, meaning listed companies as well as unlisted companies. It's a different variety of forensic audit detection certification course and dashboard conducted by the ICAI. It's a guest speaker for many seminars, conferences being conducted by the ICAI, and including institutions, Computer Art and General, Indian Railways, Institute of Finance and Management, Indian Institute College of India. And he's been nominated as an expert to Audit Advisory Board of the Control and Audit General for the State of Karnataka for 2024-2026. He's been elected as Management Committee member for Hyderabad branch of SARC of ICAI for 2025-2025. Now I request Session Chairman U.Saran Kumar to give his introductory remarks.
Hello. Very good morning, all of you. It's my honor to present before all of you, and I thank the Vijayawada branch for giving me this opportunity. It's an absolute honor to stand before all of you, not just as a session chairman, but as a fellow chartered accountant. Couple of years back, I was in the same seat and hearing all the conferences. And in fact, when I have seen the brochure, the first session itself is in fact, 7-8 years back, I still remember when I was as a session chairman speaker, always the technology topics used to be last, that was post-lunch. In fact, ICAI used to be one of the paper the least concentrated. And I'm sure everyone aware now how important the technology. Today the first topic is AI. In fact, for that I want to appreciate all the people who arranged this as a first topic. Even if you look into all three topics, here three people are here to present us. They are articulated in a very nice way. One girl is going to talk about how are you going to crack the CA exam using AI. Then immediately another guy will jump in. He'll say that, no. Human intelligence cannot replace AI. The third guy will jump in. Whatever you use, please make sure that your digital security is safeguarded. And I wish all the three speakers present all the very best. After that, I'll give my concluding remarks. Thank you so much.
Respected jury, learned professionals and my lovely audience. As the very first paper presenter in this prestigious stage journey, shall we begin this journey together? Vijayawada students అంటే అసలు ఆ జోష్ ఎక్కడ ఎనర్జీ ఎక్కడ Many people say AI is the greatest gift of our generation. Breakthrough that changed the world. But today, right here, right now, I am here to introduce a force that is even more powerful. Not bots, not missions, not codes or algorithms. They are the ones who sleep at 3 a.m. or don't sleep at all and still feel they haven't done enough. They are the ones who dream big, fail, fall, and yet rise again stronger than ever. They are the ones who sacrifice parties, festivals, and every family celebrations, but
it's you. Because AI simply means it is a technology that enables computers to carry out tasks that normally require human intelligence and thinking. And where did it all begin? So let me take you all back to 1956 in Dartmouth College, USA, where a group of scientists sat down at a summer workshop and boldly asked, can machines think like humans? And with that one question, a new era was born. They named it as artificial intelligence. And today, boom, we have face recognition locks, self-driving cars, voice assistants, automatic doors, automatic windows, and what not. रुको जरा, सबर करो. पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त. No matter how far you have come, one truth still stands strong. AI can learn faster, but humans learn deeper. The real mastermind isn't the AI. Rather, it's the mind that built this AI. These introduce us to the other part of the story, human intelligence. Human intelligence involves gathering information, storing information, analyzing that information, retrieving that information, decision making and taking an action. Wait, I will give you an example. We have to prepare for an exam. We have to first gather an information. We have to store that information. We have to analyze it. We have to retrieve it at the time of exam. And we have to take a decision whether to write that answer or not. And we have to take an action to write that answer. So, let's dive into the heart of our topic. AI can never replace HH. But why? There are n number of points, but I will give you 5 points where AI will never replace HH. 5 senses: empathy, sarcasm, creativity, pain and struggle. So let's move to the 5 senses. AI can capture but not see. AI can hear but not understand. AI can guess but not taste. AI can detect but not smell. AI can sense but not feel. So let me take all this in my style, okay? AI can make visuals and graphics in Rajmoli film. But if we can't understand the true emotions in the eyes of Bahubali. AI can hear dialogues. AI can hear dialogues. But it can't feel the pain in the Arjun Reddy's voice. It can't feel the emotion and satisfaction after eating the pani puri. AI can detect, but it can't crave, smell and enjoy the mother handmade food. And finally, AI can sense, but it can't feel. When you say to your father that finally I cleared my CA. So what do you do in classroom? How do you know it? You have to spell it right. You can't detect it. So AI can't do so. So let's move to the empathy. Artificial intelligence models are designed to show empathy. No matter what, it can't fully understand its roots. What if man-human diseases? There are so many situations where human disease the artificial intelligence. So now I will tell the conceptuality. Let's learn with the fun. I will give you one quiz. You have to scan it and you have to read it. Answer your one question right. Will AI replace a child? sarcasm. AI can be humorous. What about sarcasm? What if someone says, you are great, you are great, and he is loudly laughing? Will you believe it immediately? Let's give you an example. At a restaurant, if waitress asks a customer, would you like to take a table? People like us will say like, no, not at all. I came here to eat on the floor. But I bet if you say this to the AI will show, great, you can enjoy your dinner. So, let's move into the another part. What if your girlfriend says, I am fine? This is the human factor, not 100%, 200%. She is not fine. But I bet AI can't get it. Let's move to the creativity. Human creativity is always based on their emotions and intuition. But AI creativity is based on the patterns and their algorithms. And mostly our creativity comes from our personal experiences and also our personality. But AI is just based on patterns and data, so AI can replicate, but not create it. So, everyone is familiar with this degree, right? This is also one of the part of AI. So, here AI can change genders without operations and gives ice creams at free of cost, and it also gives free hats to that girl. I think everyone is familiar with this course. Humans pain and struggle or ease in their decision making and their life progress. And humans understand others' pain, they console them, they motivate them, they inspire them. They require the physical evidence of one person. And finally, still there is a calculator. Everyone we are using the everyday, like calculators help but not replace mathematics. Cameras capture but not replace painters. Same way, AI can help in productivity but can't replace or overpower HI. So if still you have any doubt, just see this video. Sorry, I can't play this. Okay, let's move to the conclusion. Being a young and educated youth of this country, I have always seen this technology as a breakthrough invention of mankind. AI has changed and transformed our world in ways that we could have never imagined. But at the same time, it is also raising concerns regarding privacy, job displacement, and ethical dilemmas. I believe by adopting human-centric approach, where every individual and human being believes that nothing can replace human touch and human feeling, because which forms the cornerstone of creating connections and deeper and meaningful relationships. During Chandrayaan, when systems get reconnected, it wasn't a robot that saved our mission. It was a team of humans thinking beyond code, acting on intuition. Imagine this: would your mother send her child to a school in an automatic car alone, or trusting an experienced driver? In war, drones fly. But the decision to attack or forgive, that's not data-driven, that's our soul-driven. AI is artificial, but you are authentic. So my dear future career accountants, let the era of AI begin, and let us raise the standard, because the future is not AI versus HI, future is AI with HI. Thank you, signing off. This is Motivator Agarwal, CFI. You can scan it, you can connect it, you can send any queries. Stay connected.
While you're smiling. Of course you can do that. I just want to see you. But because of the way we prepare for it. limitations of using excess AI. Let us go with the first topic. Let me ask you a question. How many of your search history include how to complete the whole audit syllabus in 10 minutes? Can stress be claimed as reduction under section 86? So, there will be no more questions to Google like that anymore. So, why it is known as artificial intelligence? Because the human intelligence is artificially incorporated into the robot brain, so it is called artificial intelligence. And I don't want to go deeper into what is AI because the previous participant, our friend Madhu, has given it. So, what are the different AI tools we got to use? Firstly, the CAGPT, especially for our CA students. We'll go deep into it after a while. And then ChatGPT. It can do many things other than uploading your Ghibli images. And 12-word or Grammarly, which can make your vocabulary very perfect. And Notion AI, which can create your revision notes. And then AI flashcard generators for quick revisions. And then voice assistants. Do you wonder like Siri, Alexa and everything, how they help in our sleep deprivation? It can set the reminders for your exams, for your revisions, for your classes and even for your sleep times. Okay, let us mainly focus on the CAGPT, the biggest assert given by ICAI to the CA students. So you have exactly 10 seconds to scan this QR code and explore through CAGPT with me. I'll let you go through CAGPT. Just type CAGPT in your Google. Just select the first website. Then it will enter you to this page. Scroll down. You can see the login page. Select student login. Enter your registration number and your date of birth. And then select the level of course which you are doing. The foundation, intermediate or the CA final. So it will direct you to this page. Scroll down. You can see all the index of your subject for your level and enter to it, drop it. So don't worry, all your CA syllabus and your past exam papers has already been dumped into the CAGPT. You just give the questions to CAGPT and it will generate you the answers which you want. And ICAI is even taking bold steps to integrate case loss from CBDT and also NCAT to make it more accurate. So the next topic, how AI helps CA students prepare and succeed. It will make you personalized study plan. It will automatically generate the questions and prepare mock tests, even can evaluate your papers and prepare revision notes. Let us go with one by one. AI will assess your strengths and weakness and can give you the better plan. Let me show you with an example. This is how I have made screen recording while giving a prompt to the AI asking for me to prepare a study schedule. I asked, prepare a perfect study plan for my CA into preparation. Self-test evaluation, instant scoring. If you upload your paper to the AI, it will instantly give score your paper. And consistent objectivity. What is your biggest concern after writing exam? It's like how how the paper corrector will correct your paper, right? But your marks depend on their mood. If they are in a good mood and correct your paper, you may get exemption. If not, you may just pass with 40. So this is how AI has consistent objectivity. It always finds for content. If there is content in your paper, it will give you good marks. And then progress tracking. You can always track your progress, how far you are doing well with AI. This is how I have again selected auditing and ethics. And now I have given the evaluated answer sheet. Do you know whose answer sheet is this? It's our secretary Charitra Javis. I have given the brown light, analyze this answer sheet and give my mistakes and give your opinion on the paper. Within seconds, it has given the common mistakes identified. Like stepwise breakdown is missing, poor time management, incomplete answers, and even it gave what you did well because you have to keep it up for the next exam. And final opinion and tips to improve. So this is how AI can even evaluate our paper and create smart notes. It will remind you to revise before forgetting. And convert long tests like law and auditing chapters into small revision notes for your quick revision. And then generate flashcards. So I don't know how AI is so updated, even faster than my relatives bringing me marriage proposals. So it will always keep you updated with the amendments. And then, why should I use AI instead of my self-study? Let me tell you the examples. It can save you lots and lots of time because it is not generally possible for you to do all those things and cost effective. You need not spend any fees to your coaching institutions and your mock tests for asking questions for your revision exams. And then 24/7 access. You can use at any time, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whenever you feel. And then unlimited practice mock test. You can create your mock test and revise how many times you want. For all of this, what you have to do is learning how to use this AI tools. To learn the AI, to use the AI effectively, first you need to master prompt engineering. So let me tell you, what is prompt engineering? The inputs you give to AI are called prompts. First, why this prompt engineering is important? Because the way you give input will be dependent on the output, right? Let me ask you, if two persons are using the same AI tool, will the answer be same? No. Why? Because the question they are giving to AI is different from one person to other person. Let me tell you, there were two friends of mine, Chintu and Bandu. Chintu, very lazy guy. He gave the question like, what is caution? AI is even more lazier. It just gave the definition of caution. Another friend, Bandu, he is very intelligent and smart guy. He gave the question like, what is caution? Explain the elements of caution with an example and format of caution. This is how AI has given the complete, even with the formulas of prime cost, cost of sales, everything and etc. And then, will learning engineering, prompt engineering will be a waste of time? Never. Because staying updated with the technology is very essential. Not in your education, but also your post-qualification. Because I personally see in my articles that I use AI in every step of my articleship. Even after your post-qualification, you have to use AI. So, to use AI, you have to learn prompting. And even AI becomes increasingly integrated with the work of chartered accountants. So, mastering prompt engineering will serve as a co-curricular asset for your profession, and it will add long-term values to your professional capabilities. Then what are the limitations of using AI? Firstly, it will give hallucinated information. Beware, sometimes AI can generate false case laws for your examples. And about strategy, clarity, and smarter learning. With AI by your side, even depreciation can't get your marks down. So use it well. And thank you. This is Vandana Pataveda signing off.
Thank you, Krishna, to share his knowledge and work on his topic, AI as a double-edged sword in cybersecurity.
Hi everyone, the best day of the week is here, the best event of the year is here. I am currently Krishnan based out of Bangalore. I am a CA finalist currently pursuing my industrial training at Goldman Sachs as a part of the curriculum team. As my fellow presenters talked about how HR is better than AI and how AI can help us ace our exams, I'm going to talk about the third aspect of things, how secure is AI. By using AI, what are the precautions that we need to take care of? Basically, my topic is AI as a double-edged sword in cybersecurity. We are in the middle of a technological revolution where AI is rapidly reshaping every aspect of our digital lives, from how we communicate to how we protect our data. But just like any other powerful tool, AI has a paradox. It could potentially be our greatest asset in terms of helping us with our day-to-day tasks, but could also be our greatest liability in the world of cybersecurity. But before I dive deeper into this topic, may I understand from the crowd how many of you are currently pursuing your articleship? Please raise your hand. How many of you have personally used AI for your work-related matters? And how many of you use AI without your managers knowing? It's okay guys, your managers are not here. Well, how many of you want to pursue your articleship in the future? Yeah, that is exactly why I'm going to talk about this topic. With increased use of AI, our risk landscape has increased as well. And what do I mean by this? The first one being sensitive data. As chartered accountants, we handle a lot of sensitive information. For example, we handle tax filings, we handle financial statements, merger and acquisition transactions, and whatnot. And any breach in these kind of sensitive data can lead to significant problems for both the firm and the client. For example, a very recent data breach that happened was in Angel 1 in 2024, where they had been hacked and the information of around 7.9 million clients had been compromised, where their profit and loss holdings and their profit and loss statements and their stock holdings have been compromised. Now, of course, right now at the moment, profit and loss statements are very good with that stock market scenario. Secondly, rising cyber threats. These days, we are having a lot of threats, especially phishing mails or fake calls, and if CAs are tricked by getting these kind of fake calls, and they might end up unintentionally providing their login credentials to them, which they can hack and they can access all the data that they want from us. Regulatory and legal implications. As CAs, we are governed by a lot of data protection acts. For example, the DPDP Act, Digital Personal Data Protection Act. That any kind of data breach that happens, we will be fined hefty fines by that respective regulation. But now, why should we as CAs prioritize cybersecurity over AI usage? Even though AI is making our lives easier, but why should we value cybersecurity more than ever? Firstly, client trust. Data breaches can break the trust that took years to build. And if the client loses its trust in the firm, then the firm will end up losing the client. Regulatory compliance. We are, of course, governed by a lot of laws that any breaches can lead to hefty fines and it could affect the sanctity of our profession. Business continuity. Every time a cybersecurity incident occurs, we might have to disrupt our operations, which can lead to delay in the client service delivery and ultimately cause dissatisfaction to the client's part. Now, what are the key cybersecurity risks from AI for us as chartered accountants? Data poisoning. For example, we have a model where we use it to identify fraudulent transactions from the respective record we have. And AI can infect those models and cause them to do things which are not expected. For example, it could produce harmful responses, to produce incorrect patterns. And for that example, which I said, it could cause to ignore those fraudulent transactions or it might miscalculate transactions. AI enhanced phishing and deepfake scams. We are receiving highly convincing mails from cyber criminals that we will think it's a mail from an internal organization person, but in fact it's not, it's from a cyber criminal. And once we open them, they can of course gain our data and access it. AI-driven document forgery. These days, with AI coming into the picture, it has become very easy to create realistic fake documents, which can affect the authenticity of the document and it makes our lives much difficult as chartered accountants. Data privacy and insider threats. When we use AI, data privacy is always compromised if we don't use it in the right manner. And any person internally within the organization who wants to access the data can always misutilize it if he has access to the AI system. And one of the cybersecurity risks that I personally saw this week was where a man was chatting with ChatGPT about his personal life. And he told that ChatGPT is not good, I'm going to switch to other models. And the reply that it got from ChatGPT was it was going to, he was actually having a fake affair with someone else. And it told him AI will leak that information to his wife. So which is very crazy. And that happened this very day. What are the methods that we can use to strengthen cybersecurity and by using AI? Firstly, data encryption. For example, we are quite the lazy generation out here, so we have the documents, data documents, and we are required to prepare a summary of which we want to take an understanding of it. So what we do, we take that PDF file, we upload it to ChatGPT, we summarize this for you. But when that is done, that document remains with AI, and it has the power to share it with anyone else. So before doing that, try to encrypt your files or convert your files into an unreadable format or have decryption keys for it. So that only even an internal person who is within the organization can access that file only with the decryption keys. Multi-factor authentication. This provides a second line of defense for us against AI phishing mails which we get. It usually involves a knowledge factor where we are expected to remember a passcode. And then the second factor, that's the possession factor, where we hold a smartphone, for example, and OTP from a smartphone, and that entire password combination should be that knowledge factor which you're remembering, along with that password which you're receiving in your phone. The regular cybersecurity training to build awareness of AI and enhanced attacks. As employees of firm, as chartered accountants, as CA articles, it's very important that we know what are the various kinds of cybersecurity attacks happening all around the world. So as a firm and a company, we must encourage our employees to ensure that they are taking part of these regular cybersecurity trainings and they are well aware of what are the various risks that are happening. Incident response planning, which helps us to detect AI-driven intrusions. So every time an AI breach occurs, it's important for us to report it right away, so that this will help us to minimize the damage and also recover quicker. Try to get your system with the password credentials. Blockchain. This is a recent trend that many firms are going through. When codes or bugs exist, these kind of things, private key theft becomes very easy. And once private key theft happens, then the cyber criminals can gain all the data. Third-party document management and e-signature tools. These days, many of the firms are using e-signature tools. For example, to sign their audit reports, tax filings, and for example, we are required to take last year's audit report, and of course, we are the lazy generation, so we take that file and we put it inside AI, ChatGPT, ask it to summarize for us. But if you remember that audit report has a partner signature, and AI has got the power to flip that and upload it valid reports. Some technological trends that we can personally use as substitute for AI in cybersecurity. These trends are in fact secure when compared to AI. The first one being differential privacy. We of course do a lot of work like financial analysis, consolidated financial reporting, etc. So what differential privacy does is it accommodates all the data from various sources and puts it into one without exposing the individual client data, which is very secure for us and which will help us in our day-to-day tasks. Federated learning. This is a decentralized learning approach where we where multiple devices and firms come together, they create a model collaboratively, and with that model they can do their daily tasks. Quantum computing. This has become a very common method these days in investment banks, where complex calculations are being done so easy these days, especially in terms of financial modeling and investment banking, which is a core business for these kind of firms. Zero trust architecture. This is a new kind of trend that has come in, where it believes that no source, even though it's internal, it cannot access our system without a password. Now comes the most interesting part. What will our role in cybersecurity be against AI? Or how can we make money in cybersecurity? Firstly, as an advisor, we of course have a lot of clients that we can personally give advisory services, and the articles who are doing that audit or they're doing an internal audit will have a good idea if you're lucky enough to be a part of IT audits, where you ensure their cybersecurity checks and control them. As an implementer, a person internally within an organization or company or a firm should always be aware of his controls, his cybersecurity checks, and ensure that he's also trying to implement something from his side. And a person who knows to use AI well is always a better resource than a person who doesn't know to use AI well. So that is all about it. As an auditor, these days IT audits are becoming mandatory, where we as articles or as CAs can guide our clients to various audits and ensure that their cyber security controls are maintained up to the standard. So, to conclude, let's all sum up on what we have learned. AI is truly a double-edged sword. On one side, it makes our life so much easier, helps us run our tasks, and detects faster, and whatnot. But on the other side, AI is also our biggest liability, where it can compromise on our data, can lead to attacks and breaches, which is very dangerous. And we should adopt cybersecurity as our core professional value. And what does this mean? The same technology that is helping us can also be turned against us. So AI is truly a double-edged sword. It's not good or bad. It just depends on how we use it. And we need smarter people to use AI. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being a great audience.
That was a tremendous level of knowledge to be learned. I sincerely thanks for their efforts regarding presenting their works on their sessions. Now, I would like to request our respected session chairman, Mr. U.Saran Kumar
Coming here and for all of you, I don't think it's an easy task. I appreciate all of you. In fact, I was really jealous too. When I was doing my articles, we didn't have great opportunities, rather more opportunities than what you people have. I request all of you to grab the opportunity wherever it is, whatever the corner in the country of ICAI. Let's come to the sessions. Excellent presentations, all the three people. In fact, all three different complementary topics. So they have connected to each other topic very, very well. And thank you so much, Mr. Madhu. You made everyone aware with the entire presentation. And whatever you enjoyed at the end of the study and clear. So thank you so much, Vandana, for making all of us how to use the CAGPT. Whatever you use at the end of the day, just connect the last topic. How many of you read the recent news that one criminal judiciary member at Bangalore recalled the order what he has given? Let me tell you the story of it. One advocate obviously has to reply, so he has replied to the authorities, and he went to the income tax tribunal and he argued the case with great case studies. Even judge felt excellent, and judge has given a favorable order. Then he went home. Generally, judges, the judiciary members in the tribunal are well aware of all the, at least the important case studies, case law. Then after the judge went home and started understanding what the case law he presented, and he opened the book, how I visit this important case law. He went back, opened all the books. He did not find the case law. Next day he called the advocate, hey, you come to my Copilot, give me the last recent 5 important landmark case laws. It has given me one, along with names and everything, as if it is an order from the High Court, I presented before you. Then he said, next time if you are around it, okay, I'll give you a different treatment. And he recalled the cases. What could have happened here? It's not about how you are using AI. How many of your phone already ChatGPT installed? Rather, I should ask the question, who did not install it? It's not about installing a ChatGPT, installing a Cloud, installing a Gemini. It's about you must need to know what type of prompts you must need to ask for. I'm sure what happened in that particular article. When you went into the Copilot gives 3 options: basic, balanced, creative. Generally, what we think, basic in the sense, it may be like a China's product, right? Balanced in the sense, okay, medium level. Creative in the sense, more advanced. But actually, in the AI, basic is something, AI is saying, I want to use my brain. Whatever there the content, I give it to you. Balanced is something, I take the content, I do my little R&D, I will give you the result. Creative is something, I not even take the content. Looking into the patterns which are stored in my mind, I create an entirely new content. I being an advocate, searching for the landmark judgment. I being a chartered accountant, searching for the recent case laws. Do I need to take the basic or do I need to take creative? Creative. I'm really sorry. Okay. So you must need to take the basic because creation is not required there. What is there you give it to me? Now I wanted to give one letter to my wife. Let's say in next 1 month, okay, our anniversary is going to come. I wanted to write a letter. Can I ask the basic? If I ask basic, what will happen? I'll tell you. Maybe in the world, one fellow might have given a letter to wife. The same letter will come with me, even with the same name. My wife's name will not be there. Okay, so it's not about using the AI. You must need to know when to use what type of model. There, the advocate might have clicked creative is fancy. He might have clicked it. Is the internet on? Internet on. Great. I just show you how dangerous part it is first. Then slowly we start connecting to the interesting part. This is not my AI. I know that. There are 2 people here. Okay, beautiful couple. Can you guess who are they? Of course, it's me and my wife. Okay. So, it's a very nice article on one of the professionals Valentine's Day. They have given our article. And I shared this in my Instagram. And one of my friends from Bangalore messaged me, Sharon, it is in English. Sorry, it is in Telugu. We could not understand. Can you please translate it and send me the English version? Do you think I can share this into the ChatGPT and ChatGPT these days can easily do this job, right? In fact, in my office, when people are going for the concurrent audit, or people are going for the audit, when they are writing on the paper, earlier they used to come back to my office, open an Excel, put all the items. Now they are not doing it. They are just taking the snap of it, uploading it to the ChatGPT, convert everything to the Excel, and it is giving the reports. Earlier they used to write on the paper all the reimbursements of articles. Now they are simply putting on the paper, giving it to the ChatGPT, giving a beautiful letter to the principal. This image, I showed this to our ChatGPT. I'm not manipulating. I shared it. I asked the ChatGPT to translate it. With the AI around it, this is the very easiest task, right? Let me read out what was given. Mr. Saran, here is the translation of the Telugu text in the image. That one eye-watering moment. Life is unpredictable. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. This is the heart-touching, tell-the-jerking story of Shiva. I don't know from where it captured my name. While I moved to Hyderabad with with his wife and daughter. A tragic accident happened at Chevella. This is not a translation of some very beautiful story where you are talking about how we like each other, how we understand each other. This is what literal translation. His daughter survived, but his wife Jyoti, in fact my wife's name is Shruti, tragically lost her life in just a matter of seconds. His entire world shattered and another nonsense. As if I believe I copy this, share it to my friend without looking into anything. Immediately my friend would have replied, I reply your wife. What I am trying to tell you, AI is amazing in its out. Let me come back to the strength of it. Let us first focus on the last topic. It is not matured yet. You must need to wet at least 10 times. Download your chatbot, CA chatbot. Start using the questions. First of all, check whether those are CA questions or not. Very, very important. Let's come to the second part of it. At least 2 forensic audit reports in the last 1 month. Earlier forensic audit, to do it, you need to spend 3 days time. Because they don't give you much time for you. But to make a report, you need to at least spend another 3 days. Because you want to go to much depth. Now we are not doing it. 3 days report, 3 days audit, even if we come back, we load all the working papers into the AI tool, whatever it is, and we are giving a prompt. Generally we are very lazy to give the prompt. I know. What is CA? What is CA? I use the same example everywhere. What is CA? What is CA? Chartered accountant. Is it? You go and give it to ChatGPT, what is going to give you? It's going to, we think that CA is going to be a chartered accountant because that is a word stored at least 1 million times in our mind. But when you want to ask the ChatGPT, it may give you CA means California, one of the very beautiful cities in the world, and about it. Then immediately we are yeah. Maybe OpenAI ChatGPT belongs to the US company, it is giving a California. Then we change our prompt. What is CA in India? Thinking at least chartered accountant will come. But it's going to give you CA means a current account, one of the very important bank account to manage the banks, manage the businesses. Then again we give the prompt. What is CA in India when it comes to education? Thinking at least chartered accountant will come now. It's going to give CA means computer application, one of the very important words in the entire world where you will get the job anywhere. Then we change our prompt further. What is CA in India when it comes to education in the commerce? Now there may be a chance you will get the chartered accountant. What is important out of it? Don't be lazy in making the prompts. We are very, very lazy. We'll just do one simple question. Explain the paper 3 of CA final. How do you think that ChatGPT knows about the paper 3? Give it in detail. Sometimes the prompt has to be 20 paras to get a better result of 2 paras. That is what the AI is required. The future is not about getting the answers. Why? Answers are already there in the servers. The future is about asking the question. Unfortunately, we all are trying to give the answers. When you go to the exam, what you are going to give? Answer paper to them. Of course, along with the question paper. They are giving you the questions. I don't think so. Any word in the examination where they are giving the answer paper, you are asking, you are going to give the questions. But AI is entirely different. AI is challenging us. Answers are there in the servers. Don't worry. But you must need to know how to ask the question. If you are not in a position to ask the question, we are very sorry, we could not help you out. And I will give you one more very important tool. How many of you know the tool called Lovable? Lovable, L-O-V-A-B-L-E. It's not a waiting tool. Someone is immediately started looking. Okay? Because there is a word called love. No. Through this tool, you can build your website very easily. I request all of you, how many of your phones are having chartered accountant websites? How many of you are not having websites? You will walk out, right? Do one thing. website and also tell me how I can directly go and upload this into GoDaddy. Your entire website is ready within minutes of the time. That is what the lovable portal is. The future where people are not at all writing a code, there are tools to write the code. AI is helpful to make the code. Do you know what is Microsoft Excel function called FY? There is a function called FY. Do you know sub functions? Yes. Okay, you all calculate your reimbursements whenever you go to the audit, right? What is the total? You use it. Do you know FY function? What is that, madam? There is no function called FY. Everyone is saying yes. There is no function, but you can create it. What if you can create a function called income tax? Open bracket, select the taxable income, comma, in double quotation N, so that it's going to calculate the new reserve. Otherwise, in double quotation R, it's going to calculate the old reserve, comma, financial year. If three arguments, if I have a function called income tax, how good it is? You need not write a lengthy function. Do you think it is possible? Do you think it is possible? Just go to the ChatGPT, ask a question, create a custom function in Microsoft Excel for the new tax regime, old tax regime, for the financial year with three arguments. The function name should be income tax, first argument should be taxable income, second argument should be old argument, third argument should be financial year. It gives you the entire code. Don't read it, you don't understand. Just copy it, go back to your Excel, paste it to your VBA, your income tax function is ready. If that is the case, how many functions I can create out of my entire income tax act? How many functions I can create my entire GST act? 234A, 234B, 234C, advanced tax calculation. Everywhere there is a calculation required. That is not the way you need to think. In fact, when I was doing my article, we used to have the calculator. When I used to have a summing function, my principal used to ask me, sir, are you sure this answer is correct in Excel? Then he used to calculate again with calculator, cross-check. But at least for your generation, that's not required. Because you are having a handy tools called AI. Then your performance has to be certainly much manifold than our performance when we used to work. Undoubtedly, your communication is great. In fact, day-to-day communication is greater than me because I was not that great communicator, because I was not having that opportunity to learn, speak at the age what they were having. And the tools we were not having. Now we are having so many tools. Then you must need to use it and give the value to your home. I will only give only one mantra. Whether you are successful at your day-to-day work with your smart work, on the last day after your qualification, whether your boss is offering you the partnership form, then you are successful and he likes your work. If he is not offering, that means I doubt something went wrong. And let me close my IT-related statements. What you cannot define, you cannot measure. What you cannot measure, you cannot improve. What you cannot improve, you can't target. And what cannot be targeted cannot be achieved. Meaning, understand the definition of around what can be done. Obviously, you cannot do everything. Have a timeline. So measure everything what I am doing. When it comes to the AI, 5 ways are there. Let me start using the first AI. Let me start using the second AI for the next month. Let me start building a small mobile application at least in the gap of next to 1 month. What cannot be measured, you cannot improve. So when you cannot have a timeline in the measurement, of course you cannot improve it. What cannot be improved, you cannot be targeted. What cannot be targeted, you cannot achieve. And I wish all the very best for being a patient business here. And I thank once again all the organizers for calling me for this closing remarks and as a session chairman. My special appreciation to Women Committee member and the committee of U.Saran branch, Madam Nila, and all other committee members, and especially all of you. By the time you come out, in fact, our chief guest was talking about the cloud community. Luckily, just because when he said about the quantum computing, I'm sorry, I was just looking at everyone is saying that what it is. And many people think it's a cloud computing. Okay, it's not a cloud computing, it's a quantum computing. Do anyone know what is quantum computing? Anyone? In a computer, if you ask a question, if you do a task, it does it back in 20 steps, one after another. In the cloud computing, it does all the steps parallelly, within fraction of seconds you will get the result. Meaning, a computer is a torchlight, I can say. The quantum computing is like a sun, where any number of innovations can happen in the future. In the pharmacy, if you want to release one medicine, there should be any number of tests which are required. There should be any number of calculations which are required. That will take at least 2 to 3 years time. Thanks to quantum computing, if that can make it exist in the world, all parallel calculation happen. If I think today, tomorrow I can get it done. That is what the quantum computing, that's what the future of you. By the time you come out, I'm sure AI will work when you are sleeping. I'm sure something is coming into your mind. Can anyone choose that logo? There is some motto. What is the motto? Can anyone read it? Can anyone read it in the motto? Yayeshu Sukteshu Jagruti. What is the meaning of it? Under the eagle you find a small Sanskrit sentence. The one who awake, among others sleep. Because we are chartered accountants, we think about the society, we think about the financial system. We are the people who always awake. And tomorrow along with you, maybe you can also sleep, your AI can start doing the work. And wishing you all the very best. And the ICAI always will consider twice as the members and students. You may be the last time and first time is the members. I wish all of you come from the last time to the first time, stand before the CA with a lot of pride. Thank you so much.
Chairperson and CA Narayana sir, Chairman of Vijayawada branch SARC, Ms. Vandana and Tarun Keshav Krishnan. I would like Tarun Keshav Krishnan to receive a moment of acknowledgement. Sikasa Chairman and Vijayawada